Okay, new trail. This is above Liberty Lake County Park. And
Workout resumed.
Realized that they added another county trailhead up above the old trails that I'd always gone on. So I was just looking around. It's next to the Liberty Lake area off-road park. So apologize. This is a fraction of the way through, so I'm starting the video now. And then I'm going to do pieces and parts from about probably a third of the waypoint out to wherever I turn around. Then probably get some footage on the way back up, and then I'll get a picture of the parking lot and signs when I get back up to the top. Following one set of footprints, since it's the first time on the trail for me. And dog's with me. She's doing okay so far. It's cold December day. I think it's about, I don't know, I think it's 16 degrees if I remember correctly. Hard to say out here, but around there. No lower than 13, no higher than 18 would be my summation. Look around here to stop the video and pick it up a little later. Nice open spot coming up here. A little bit of a view. And first time on the trail, so I'm kind of seeing where things are at as well. So straight up there in the middle is heading towards Micah Peak. I don't think that's Micah Peak specifically. I think it's a little bit further up. Main trail, I'll say really quick while I'm catching my breath, starts at the park, follows the creek up to a Cedar Grove, which is really pretty hike any time of the year. And my daughter just hiked this morning, so down at the bottom. And it sparked it in my mind this would be a fun hike for today, with the skies clearing up a little bit, if you want to call that clear. And then the main hike goes up Cedar Grove, zigzags up the mountain. There's a cabin up higher, catches a logging road, an old logging road, and makes a loop back to the main camping area of the lake. I'm gonna stop there and we'll carry it from here. So came off that ridge trail, ran into part of the main trail.
Workout paused.
There's a trail on either side of the creek. In part is probably the main trail. That's the side trail. I put a mark in the middle. I think I'll be able to see it. The creek's down below. And we should be just going on this more main trail. My dog's doing well, good. I was worried about her getting cold. On this more main trail.
Workout resumed.
Up to the Cedar Grove. And I'm thinking we're far enough in now. I'm gonna keep on going till two places. Either this is that side trail off of the main trail that'll connect into it, or this is the main trail, and I'll know in a little bit. I haven't hiked up here in the winter, so I haven't seen a landmark yet, but I want to make a mark of where the two trails connected. Nothing really exciting up here. Not many more tracks down here below also, which surprised me, which is making me think that this might be the side trail, not the main trail. But we just had some fresh snow, so middle of the week, might not be a lot of people that made the trip yet. So we're going to continue filming for a bit. Until I see a landmark. On that last trail I was kicking through some pretty good snow. I was trying to make a little wider trail for the dog. She does good. But once it gets above her belly, it's a little bit more work for her. She has to bound more instead of just run or walk. And she just got a haircut a couple weeks ago. So she's running with less hair, so she's definitely a little cooler. Notice the last couple colder weather walks we've been on. All right, so back into the forest. I will say, however you make this trip, this is probably one of the prettier trails in the Spokane area. All right, I'm going to turn around right here, being conscious of time. Still just off the edge of the creek. This will be the turnaround point, so no sense violating basic hiking rules. And this was going to be a short hike. We turned it a little longer. So I'm going to kind of beat feet back down, and I'll probably pick up when I hit that T. And we'll work way up that ridge line back up to the rig. Dog's still enjoying the trip, which is good. Okay, on the trail back, there's a landmark. I remember on the side of the trail that I must have walked right past when I came up. Old rig. Came down the mountain, I imagine. There's a road up above. Handful of years ago, kind of fun. Nice little landmark. So I know where I'm at in the big picture of things. So we're just about where I turned around, where the trails connect. Still probably another quarter mile from Cedar Grove. So continuing on down the east side trail, and like I had said, from the park, it's pretty much a highway, but the main trail goes from the park up to the Cedar Grove and continues on, but the Cedar Grove is a good landmark. And then as you're walking up that main trail, there's two other kind of loops you can take. There's a bridge off to the right that goes west, that's about a third of the way up. There's a trail that takes off to the left, which I'm on. It's maybe at the halfway point ballpark, maybe a third of the way up. And then it just goes on the east side of the creek that's below me now. And the two connect back up, and then there's just one common trail that goes on up the creek till you get to Cedar Grove. So, no, that's where I'm at. It gives me a feel for where I was at. So, it'd been nice to finish to the Cedar Grove, but I got a little late start. My plan wasn't to really go all the way there. It was like hit and miss. If I would have went straight to the park, got on the main trailhead, it would have been pretty straightforward, but I took a little longer drive up to the other parking lot, tried that new trail, so pushed through some snow. And I was going a little slow for the dog. I was squishing down some of the snow to make a trail because I knew I'd have to go through so she wouldn't get too snow-logged. But also at the end of this journey, I knew I had to go back, and I didn't want her to have to jump through snow twice. So it's a little slower on the way in. I know the timestamp from when I turned. I'm kind of curious. I'm way back. I'm going to hold a little bit better pace. Got plenty of daylight, about an hour. But in my opinion, that's cutting it a touch tight. I think it's tough in the winter time. Timing these trips. Go when the sun's at high so you can see around a little bit and get the clearing, which it was. Got quite a bit of blue ahead above me, and get good light at the evening, or go early to kind of guarantee you make the trip, but it's overcast and a little darker. So 51 half dozen the other. I don't think there's a perfect way, but always be conscious of time and surroundings. All right, looks like the dog is ready to go back to the rig, which she doesn't know is quite a bit further, but I just stopped a second ago. She had a pretty good snowball. Okay, back to the split where I call it the ridge trail, came into the main trail. I put that stick against that tree as a marker, and I knew coming back that split was going to be reasonably easy to see. So the trail goes up to the right. I guess from the picture it's not that easy to see, but trail goes up to the right. The main trail continues on that way. So that's my first place I have to turn. And then I stomped in an arrow in the snow, which isn't good if it snows, obviously. At the next place I need to turn, that's kind of I could tell some tracks went up the hill or went along the ridge, and it'd be easy to miss it on the way back, but a pretty good mental image of where that split's going to be at. Just to stop along the trail. Every once in a while it's good to stop and look around, look backwards and forwards. Still that mountaintop, which you can see in the distance. We're looking out into Spokane Valley, and I stopped because I heard a jet going by. I think that's nice about back in this little draw. It is really always pretty quiet. I'm a little slower and film. Nothing worse than being a little tired than going downhill and falling on your
Workout resumed.
Oh, she thought I stopped. You're okay, Coco. Stay. You don't have to run back to see if I'm alive. Good dog. You're a good dog. But as I'm going back, I can see a little bit different scenery, which is always kind of nice, like that vehicle I saw along the way. So I will say compared to summertime hiking, the snow is a little slipperier, so in the summertime you're worried about spraining an ankle, tripping. In the wintertime, you're doing all of that, plus you might slip and fall on your behind. Keep on looking across the ridge, see if I might see something bigger. Yeah. So far, no, but that's usually on the snowy hillsides. If something's moving across, it's pretty easy to spot them. And that's all you got in the woods a lot of times, because in the forest you'd never know. You could be walking past 10 deer right now, and they'd be just out there. Should be starting to get up now. They would have been bedded down, but they're conserving energy and staying out of trouble this time of year. Good dog. Got a little snow bothering her right foot. I've been watching that, but she's not limping or anything, and she's tail up, wagging and bouncing, so I think we're good. That's a spot that's bothering her right there. But turned her upside down a couple times, cleared out that one time, and I'm gonna let her just
Workout
kind of
pause.
manage it. I think it's bothering her, but it's not slowing her down or hurting her or anything. She's not limping or anything. It's probably just
Workout resumed.
plenty of snow along her fur bothering her. All right, I'm gonna take a stop here. So I'm walking underneath this tree, trying not to bounce. Okay, working my way up the last part of this trail, which kind of zigzags up and down this ridge. We're getting a nice little sunset going out there. We're gonna stop and take a quick video. Like I said, reasonably blue skies, sun setting. We're gonna be working right up this ridge, and on this ridge is where the parking area is at, which is great, but it means on my hike, the last little bit's a pretty good climb, so I'm not gonna let you listen to me breathe hard all the way up this hill. I'm gonna stop and I'll another quick picture. We're just about up the parking lot. That's Liberty Lake in the background there.
Workout paused.
I'm gonna turn that gal down. Yeah, down the hill. So continuing. Okay, top of the little hill by the parking lot. That's where I came from. It's looking down towards Liberty Lake. This is looking down to the parking lot. I'll video in as I'm walking down. Get a snapshot of that sign. So it's been a while since I've been down this road. There was just parking back in this corner that you could pull off into, but it looks like they expanded into a full-blown parking lot. Got power, got a street light, security camera, which is nice for leaving your stuff. Looks like I'm the only one left. When I got here, I don't know what my dog's doing. Someone's excited to be back. Oh, she's kind of silly. Good girl. We'll toss her in the car here. She's probably ready for a drink of water. But yeah, Spokane County's done a really good job with these parks. McKenzie Natural Area is the first one that I came across that was new for me. And Hauser Lake area on the Washington side was the second one. And then I've been hiking the trail down below since I moved to Liberty Lake, but that's the first time I've hiked in from above. So county does a good job of putting up one of these posts at every one of their stops. Just nice. Look at a picture of the park itself. So in relation to things here, Liberty Lake's at the top. I had to use my finger. There's parking and swimming there. A covered area there.
Workout paused.
There. And then we were up on this hill here, which is a road that comes in from a different direction. So we started there and then worked up this ridge. And I'm going to say we worked our way down probably that 2,200 foot level along the trail. There's a, I guess, South Creek Trail, Berry Creek Trail, I guess is what that's in. I didn't know that one. But we would have got to, oh, this is the very end. Here there's a campground at the very, very end of the world. Right down here is a Cedar Grove. And that's a nice destination spot. The trail on the bottom is really level all the way up to Cedar Grove. Then you climb up the mountain from there. And then I probably came in right about here, if I was to guess, maybe a little bit further back. So I thought about making it all the way to the Cedar Grove. I wouldn't have been too far, but I definitely wanted to get back here in time to have some daylight, if you want to call this a lot of daylight, but enough daylight. So Liberty Lake Regional Park is what this is called. I think it's the biggest county park in the state of Washington, if I remember correctly, but you can see it's a pretty large park area. When I say that, it's kind of hard to get distance here, but bottom of the park's here. State line is there. Got a conservation area they added to it, right up into the lake, and then into the corner, over the corner, and down the state line again. So good sized county park. I'm going to stop there. I could probably zoom in on that. So that's the measure bar, so 5,000 feet, approximately a mile. So looks like it's about a mile wide and probably 4 miles deep. Let's take a wild guess. All right. Liberty Lake Regional Park, trail from up above, first hike, done.